Hi, I am Amma Duncan. In 2015, while in corporate Ghana, I was up to my neck in feeling stuck. Plus, I was always broke. I wanted a change like yesterday. I was just tired. While thinking about what to do, I had an idea to share stories about women as a way of honing my writing skills to become an author. Little did I know that Father God upstairs had way bigger plans for me. Now, this idea has developed over the past 7 years into the Fabulous Woman Network, a social enterprise which helps women create wealth and impact people. Through events, training, coaching, and mentoring, we've impacted thousands of women around the world. In the beginning, I knew zilch about running a business, and so I invested in many programs and books. I still do. Learning and applying them is empowering me to create wealth, and I desire to help others get empowerment too. In fact, my vision is to see an Africa in which women are empowered to create wealth and impact people. I am constantly being asked many business-related questions, and so over the next couple of months, I'll be doing a series called Start Your Own Fabulous Business on my weekly podcast called Mind Your Business. If you're new in business, I dedicate this to you. But if you prefer to work with me one-on-one, then go to amaduncan.com/store to book a discovery call with me. For now, grab your notepad, pen, cup of tea, and enjoy. Okay, so today's question is, how do I start my business? Or different variations of this. I've had this question so many times, and it was recently triggered by one of the women in our community who, was engaging me on starting her own business in this new village she finds herself in. And so my simple answer to this question is to test the idea. When we first have the idea, test it. And I'm going to explain how to test. But before that, if you don't have that idea already, for any business to start, first you will need to have the idea, right? So if you don't have the idea already, and if that is your struggle, I have a video I did maybe a year ago. It's called How to Identify a Business Idea, and I've shared the link in the caption. So you can first of all, watch this video on how to identify your idea. Once you have the idea and you've settled on something to run with, then you come back to watch this video or listen, to this audio on how to start your business. Good. So what did I say? The answer to that is test the idea. Look, I've created multiple products and services in the business that I'm in right now, and they all started with ideas. And every single one of them started by me testing it, whether I knew I was testing it or not. Because really, it comes to you as a great idea, but in action, it's quite different. What they say, it's easier said than done, but it's always important to do. And so we test by doing. So for instance, a couple of the services that we have provided, we've had Startup 101, which was probably our earliest product, or one of the earliest actually. Startup 101 started because people in the network, it was new at the time, this was about 6-7 years ago, they would be asking me, "Oh, Amma, how do I start my business? I have this idea, I have that idea." And look, y'all, this was the time that I was struggling to even start my own business. I didn't even know what I was doing. And yet people thought I had the answers, so they would come to me. So it just occurred to me that, hey, Amma, why not put together an event to help people start their own businesses? And so I remember driving. I wasn't driving actually. I was going somewhere with a mentor and a very good friend. We're going to speak at an event. And I remember saying to her that, you know what, I'm thinking of putting together an event for people to start their own businesses. Would you be happy to speak? Now, this is someone who at the time had been running her business for like 10 years. So she was a guru, as compared to me, I knew nothing. So I was so happy when she said, yes, she would speak. I spoke to another mentor who was very happy to speak. And then A friend connected me to another very fabulous business person, and we put together our first Startup 101. Oh my God, 80 people turned up for that event. It was amazing. And that is how I knew that there was a need. By the way, this has to do, what I've just shared is also about identifying a business idea. Remember, if you need to identify a business idea, you have to go and watch that first video I spoke about. But so anyway, so back to Startup 101. This is how we tested that idea, by doing it. Simple. Another idea I had was breakfast with the girls. I think I was at a hotel that I used to work way before we had FabHub. I would sit there and work while I waited to pick my kids from school. And then I just had this idea of women together having breakfast and sharing and talking and chatting about things that matter to us. I remember picking up the phone and calling a friend and saying, "Yay, this is what I'm thinking. What do you think of it?" She was like, "Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Go for it." So I did go for it. The first one we did, I remember it was in Kumasi. This was in 2017 or so. And then, it's fad. If I say it's fad, fire. So it's what I mean to say is it went well. I learned from it, and then we iterated it and kept going. So this is basically how these ideas have been developed, by testing. So now let's come to you. Perhaps you want to make cakes. Now, if you don't already know how to make cakes, then of course you have to learn how to make cakes. Please, before you tell me, but I don't have money for cake school, there is an amazing invention called YouTube. Go there, learn how to make a basic cake. It is so important that before you start investing, like putting real money in the business idea, you test it in a way, in an inexpensive way. It helps you even know whether you really want to do it. Sometimes we see people doing things and we kind of fancy them without actually trying it and knowing whether it will gel with us or not. So I want to really encourage you, go onto YouTube, find whatever it is. For instance, if it's gardening you want to do, there are plenty videos on gardening. If it's cakes, just go find a basic vanilla cake, try your hands on it. So that is the testing. So first you test it, and then you test it on yourself. So you eat the cake yourself. Hopefully everything will be fine with you. But even if it's not, it's part of the process, right? You have tested it. This is so important. Test on yourself first, please, before you go give it to somebody's poor child. Or let's say you want to be a stylist. First, style yourself. Where you put your clothes together and then ask for feedback. You want to be a coach others as well. And when I say others, I mean friends and family. Start from them. Of course, like I said, you have to learn how to do it first before you do it. But don't go paying thousands of dollars yet. We haven't gotten to that place yet. Learn in the easiest way possible. Thanks to Google, thanks to YouTube, we have lots and lots of information that you can just grab. Now, my thing is this: learn and do. Learn as you do. Keep learning. Get feedback. Learn and do. So it's all about learning and doing, learning and doing. In fact, at every stage in your business, you will be learning and doing anyway. And it's especially important in the beginning stages where you are testing the idea. So for your cakes, you've made it, you've eaten it, you've learned, okay, maybe you made a few mistakes, you make it again this time, you ask a few friends or family to test it and then give you feedback. Remember, the feedback is to help you improve. And it's so key, especially in the beginning. Now, speaking of feedback, let me just add that where we are testing ideas, there will be a couple, and I say with certainty that there will be a couple of battles that you may have to face. Fears. I had to face a lot of my fears. And in fact, now let me clap for myself, because you know what? I exercised a lot of courage. In the beginning, you would hear things like, oh, it's not good enough. Oh, it's too salty. Ew, what kind of colors have you put together? I remember a very good friend telling someone, this was when I was trying to sell some cosmetics. I was really seriously trying to sell some cosmetics I had gotten from another friend. And I went into a pharmacy shop and I was trying to introduce the products to the person at the counter to get them to buy, and stock. And then my friend just casually said, oh, don't mind her. Now, she didn't say it in a mean way, but this is just something we do to people we love. Like, oh, don't mind her, she's not serious, or something like that, because it is something they are starting, right? So we don't really see the seriousness in what they are doing. I don't think this friend of mine said it out of being mean. She was just playing around. But, it kind of pinched me a bit because at the time I thought I was actually serious. And mind you, I'm also sure I've done it to others without even thinking about it, that actually they are serious. And so what I'm saying is, if you get some of these comments, don't take it personally. It is part of the process. Another thing that you have to face is, when people compare your product to someone else's, oh, hers is better than yours. Hers is more beautiful than yours. Look, I used to make hampers years ago. And look, even before people say that hers is nicer than yours, I'll see other hampers and I'll be like, chai, hey, the hampers were like made from heaven. As compared to me, I was like, oh, Jesus, I wanted to run. But it was an important process to go through. This is not something we take personally and say, oh my God, I am terrible. No, this just means that you have more room for improvement. So yes, you need this feedback and it's okay. It's important that you get it. Imagine if everybody keeps saying, oh, it's nice, it's nice, it's nice. They are not really telling you or making suggestions and all. You wouldn't know. So it's quite important to get the feedback, and please don't take it to heart when you are testing your product and people are giving you the feedback. I know sometimes it hurts like ouch, but it's okay. Listen to me. It's okay. It's all part of the process. If you can just keep your eye on the goal. The goal is what? You are testing your business so that you can start it at a certain point. So please, all these things. And another final thing that I really want to encourage you, that it will come your way, is your fears. Oh my God. They will come with their cousins and aunties and grandpas, all of them. Self-doubt. Look, I get that over and over again. I still do, especially when I'm developing something new. It will come over and over again. But please remember, it is part of the process. Okay? So as they come, just remember Amma said, oh, this one is normal. And for me, one of the things that helped was, at the time, I was also sharing stories about other women, and they would tell me things like these, the fears and self-doubt, and also I would remember that and keep going, thinking, knowing that, okay, actually, this is what they said, so keep going. So it's quite important that when these fights come, just put them to the side. Recognize that, oh yeah, this is what they said, and keep going, because you definitely need that feedback at the beginning when you are testing your idea. Now, as part of testing, you actually have to sell it too. Yes, you'll have to sell it. Remember, in the beginning, we're testing with family and friends, so it may be free. If you're as brave as Beyonce, perhaps you would ask people to pay for it. But if people haven't started paying for it already, you have to actually muster the courage to start selling it. Now, you're probably asking, Amma, but who do I sell to? God willing, next week, I will take you through that who to sell to bit, that question. I'll give you a few ideas, pointers, to help you. But for today, I want to ask you, what business idea are you currently musing on? Sister, or maybe brother, go test it. I repeat, go test it. So what do you have to do? If you don't know how to do it already, learn it. There are so many ways to learn. Don't ask me how to learn, please. Figure that one out. I know you can. Learn how to do it and then go test that idea. Okay, so that is it for today. If you have a question, how do I test my business? How do I start my business? Start by testing it. Now, If you have other questions that you feel that you would want me to answer, remember over the next couple of months, I'm going to be answering questions that will help you start your business, right? Your own fabulous business. So if you have questions, just put them in the caption, in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer them. Okay. And remember, if you prefer to work with me one-on-one, please go to amaduncan.com/store to book a discovery call with me. Until I come your way again, God willing, same time next week, please remember, go test your fabulous idea. Ta!